You're broken down and tired.
On the set of America's Got Talent, 9-year-old Angelica Hale moved the whole country to tears with her beautiful voice. A lot of people didn't know that there was a behind that bright spotlight rough and painful past. Today we start the pages about how she felt from on the verge of death at age 4 to becoming a child star who makes you think millions. Are you ready to accept the whole of this amazing story? Not nice. Thank you, Mom. In 2012, Angelica Hale, a girl of 4 years old who loved to sing and was always full of energy, fell back. She was very sick and had a high fever. She was having trouble breathing, and quickly got worse for her family. At first I thought I had a bad cold, but when a doctor took her to the hospital, found that she had acute pneumonia caused by bacteria called Streptococcus. A sepsis can happen because of this dangerous strain. Within hours, her condition got worse. The infection quickly spread, leading to several organs will start to shut down. Dr. Smith told the family to get ready for. Angelica was rushed into the worst, put in the intensive care unit, ICU, and placed under. She was closely watched for 80 days. Angelica had to decide whether to stay in the hospital or die. She was in a coma for 12 years before she died. For several days in a row, doctors had to use ECMO, a machine that helps the lungs and heart serve to keep her alive. The sight of 4 tubes were all around her tiny body. Lines and machines broke my heart, giving everyone who saw it a shock. Angelica's parents, James, were moved to tears. Eva hardly left her side as they taking turns holding her by her bed hand while whispering and singing lullabies, things that gave her mother hope. The monitor's beep made my heart sink. We had no idea when the next sound would come, that she was still fighting or that she told them goodbye. After almost 2 weeks on Life to Help, Angelica started to show signs of no one dared to wake up at that time. Believe would come even though they had prayed for it in silence. She blinked and moved little signs on her fingers that were strong enough to bring light into the darkness. Even though she had made it through the crisis, the illness did a lot of damage. Doctors agreed with Angelica that she was right. Lung had been hurt permanently. She had to learn how to breathe, talk, and Angelica would never get her strength back. She kept smiling even when she looked scared or sad. Wished to sing as if music were the miracle that kept her spirit alive every day, but her fight to stay alive wasn't because of a miracle that came from a mother's love. Angelica Hale made it through the illness in 2012 in and of itself, but it was only at the start of the pneumonia, and sepsis had hurt both of her kidneys very badly. When Angelica was 5 years old, she had to go through dialysis 3 times a week, session that went on for hours. She lay in the hospital bed. Her small body was attached to tubes and machines that used to make her smile bright was often changed to painful winces as she got needles stuck in her skin for her parents. Every time James and Eva went to dialysis, Eva, who was in pain, often sat next to her, singing to her and holding her hand to calm her down. She said, I felt helpless as I watched her go through that. Still, she didn't let sadness take over. Eva, who was deeply in love, chose to give her one of your kidneys to save her life. Daughter, this choice was the first step end of a long and hard journey. Doctors had to do a lot of tests to make sure that Eva and Angelica had a medical. It took months to match the process and was full of stress every time a test result came back. James made everyone in the family hold their breath. Angelica's dad remembered that I did everything I could but sleep at night. Prayed that everything would go well. In the end, doctors confirmed that Eva was a good donor. September 13, 2013 was the important date. Unexpectedly, the surgery for Eva and Angelica could not be done. Happen on the same day because medical rules that the delay brought about new. Eva felt waves of worry and wondered if the body would stay strong enough to. Through tears, she said, I just to give her a chance to sing, to smile one more time. The transplant is finally done. After tense hours, surgery took place. The family got good news. Eva's kidney did its job well in Angelica's body. When the girl woke up, she was out cold. A smile broke through years of fear and pain. Doctors were amazed at how well she got better, and called her the little warrior. The kidney from her mother not only gave her life, but gave people hope that Angelica she would be able to follow her dreams, still need medical care and are alive because of her health problems. She started to get her strength back. Angelica's smile, once dimmed by illness, it became a sign of unconditional love from a mother deciding that the transplant was more than a process. It was proof of how the love of a family can make things happen for Angelica to go to even bigger stages where she would soon wow everyone on show America's Got Talent. The America's Got Talent show was lit up with a new kidney from her mother. Angelica Hale slowly got better as her health better, her love of music came back. Angelica had loved with all her heart. She has been singing since she was 2 years old. He would hum along with radio songs while she was in the car with her family, but after her life-threatening hospital it was more than a journey as a child, it turned into her way of getting in touch with people and spreading hope. After years of treatment and getting better, Angelica started to work on her singing. For real, she sang every day, from known lullabies to technically challenging songs for her family. Ava, her mother, helped her through. Eva was more than just a mother every time, but also a teacher, a friend, and one person who told Angelica that every one note she sang was a small win. Angelica joined the small community too. Performances, getting used to being on stage and get used to having people watch you. Music. Angelica was only 9 years old when she died in 2017. Chose to try out for season 12 of the American Idol show. Wasn't for her just a chance to show her off. Talented, it was a statement that couldn't put out her family's dreams. Was hesitant at first because of the young people may not be able to handle the stress. Girl who was just getting over major surgery, but Angelica was the one who showed them she was ready. The audition was a big deal for her. Hair neatly pulled back and a look, Angelica took a step onto the stage in front of tens of thousands of people and 4 strong judges. She chose to sing for everyone, even Simon Cowell. An important song by Andra Day called Rise Up, about getting through tough times. Before she said, "I'm singing," in a calm voice. "I did this to tell my own story." As soon as the first notes were played, the room was filled with it. Was her clear, strong voice that left every lyric left everyone in awe. Thinking about the journey she took to stay alive, we're still going. When the song ended, the whole room cheered for Simon. It was Cowell who said, "This little girl is a miracle." Angelica got unanimous approval. Approved by the judges and moved on to the next part of her trip on America's. The Voice wasn't just about performances that are also intense. Behind the scenes work is done every week. Angelica and her staff carefully chose songs and practiced for hours to get better. In every detail, she always had a small notebook to write down how she feels and a note from her mom. "Don't just sing, sing with your heart and voice." For Angelica picked Girl, and the judge cut her off. On Fire, by Alicia Keys, is a strong song, strong and determined. She, when paired with her explosive performance, guest judge was moved by an inspiring backstory. To be hit by Chris Hardwick is the golden buzzer. Putting her right on the live shows, he said with tears in his eyes, "I've never seen who sings with such a big heart at this age." During the live shows, Angelica kept showing that she was flexibility and strength with needy songs like Zed's Clarity, David Guetta's Without You, and Symphony No by Clean Bandit. Every time she stepped on, Angelica said again on stage that she was not just a little girl who had almost died, she was an artist. In the finale, which she did along with Stronger, What Doesn't Kill You, Keo Kuchi and Kelly Clarkson are bringing the crowd to their feet, even though she came in second place behind Darcy Lynn. Angelica touched many people deeply. The history of the show, Simon Cowell said, "One of the most beautiful voices ever had on." In 2019, Angelica went back to the This Is Where America's Got Talent, the champion. When she was 11 years old, she brought a more grown-up presence and picked Fight, an important song by Rachel Platten of Hard Work. Her performance, both Judge Howe was led by a fierce and deeply moving Mandel to press the golden button once more. He broke down and said, "She's the personification of hope, but she didn't make it to the top 5. Angelica Hale showed everyone what doesn't break you can get stronger from small things." Girl who was once still in an ICU, she shined brightly on one of the biggest stages around the world like a star, turning her pain into a goal. After her big step forward on America's Got Talent, she grew up and became more than a girl. She voiced like an angel and came out as at the age of 10 she took on the part of the first ever national child advocate for the National Kidney Foundation is one of the people rarely have to take responsibility for some. Angelica, who was young, stood in front of hundreds of people from public health meetings to community events where she told her story from fighting illness and getting a kidney from putting her mother in the spotlight on AGT. Her voice was clear and convincing. I'm here today because my mom loves me. And giving someone a new kidney doesn't save one life, and it will give people hope. Whole family. Where her words are coming from someone who was in the middle of a lot of people were moved to tears by life and death. At one event, a doctor said, Angelica doesn't just tell a story, she makes us feel something, rethink what life is all about. As an ambassador helped bring attention to about sepsis and how important organ donation that got thousands of people to sign up. Gabriella didn't stop giving as a donor at in which she told her story to grand times when her voice helped people connect hope. In 2017 she was asked to play at Macy's on Thanksgiving Day. Parade was one of the most watched TV shows. Events in the U.S. taking place on a she sang, flowed in the middle of New York, with all her heart, as if she were telling her story to all of his listeners. A fan wrote, seeing Angelica perform online I saw a whole movie, not just a song. Journey. That same year, she did at an NFL game during the national anthem between the Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. Her clear voice showed how she felt boomed through the stadium full of people, stopping tens of thousands of people with her spirit. In a talk after the event, she said, her smile making her face light up, I want my Angelica's voice to bring happiness and hope. Also grew into new areas, showing that she had nothing to do with her past. In 2019 she did the voice of Peggy in Disney's animated show Tots, adding fun and happiness to the part she played. Voice acting is how I have a new way of telling stories. Angelica's first single came out that year. Feel the Magic, and a book about it name full of songs about being strong and trust. That the title track quickly gained love with songs like You Can Believe in Magic and Feel It Yourself, striking a chord with one listener. When I hear Angelica sing, I think I can get through this anything. The album was a big deal. Not only in her job but also as she said she was going to use her art that moves people beyond the stage and studio. Angelica used social media a lot to get in touch with people in the community. She put the song on YouTube and Instagram. Covers of Adele songs and Disney songs classics that get millions of views. What really moved fans, though, were the times she talked about her journey, and she talked about her in a video when she was in the hospital. She sang to make people feel better herself and how music helped her. She got over her fear and looked at the camera with determined eyes and said, if I can do it, you can too. These kinds of words gave her strength. Thousands who are sick or have personal problems, challenges. One viewer said, she makes me feel like I'm stronger. More than I thought. She also took part in there are charity events like Celebrity Fight. David Foster will perform at night, along with big names, to raise money for Angelica's effect went beyond those in need. Besides having individual fans, she changed how communities saw people who had survived illness. She was invited by medical groups to speak. Schools asked her to share her working with students and their families. People who had kidney disease saw her as a sign of hope and a representative from the National Kidney Foundation. She is proof that you can change. Every song turns pain into strength. And speech. Angelica did more than just make a throughout her life, she left a legacy of kindness and persistence. When on the verge of, she uses her voice now that she has lost everything, and a desire to make the world a better place. That her beautiful story can become a flame that shows other people the way. The first moves of a young star before getting famous on America's Got Talent. Angelica Hale had already put down the first building blocks of her musical dream, even there were many problems along the way. Just 2 years old, she shocked her kids by singing along with songs on the family car radio. The voice was clear, but I couldn't understand what was being said. Eva, wasn't her mother once remembered? Her eyes lit up as she thought of those in the beginning. We saw that she had a special. Angelica was given a gift before she turned 3. putting on shows for family and friends, singing everything from nursery rhymes to pop songs she heard on TV in her dream but was cut short in 2012 when a disease that could kill them hit, pushing her into a battle for her life twice. Pneumonia and septic shock are some of the took away her health and made her spent most of her childhood in hospitals. She did not play like other kids. Her number of years after a kidney transplant in 2013, Angelica started having a hard time recovering. Her body stayed she was weak and had to follow a strict routine and get regular medical care checkups to keep her new kidney safe. Father James remembered that there were times when her bedtime because she was so tired, but music was always there. Her emotional healer while she was on dialysis. She would hum her favorite song during melody lines from Frozen songs to Alicia Keys' ballads by Keys to get away from the pain by Angelica. They said, "Singing makes me feel alive." These times kept her love alive. But her body wasn't able to keep up with other kids with her at that time. Angelica was determined to get her family support. To follow her passion for music even when taking a step forward was hard. At age 7, Angelica started to play at local things going on in Atlanta, from a small school, from festivals to benefit concerts. She brought a pure voice and a moving story of she was strong. Even though her health was still, Angelica always looked weak and had a bright smile that seemed to prove that getting sick could never describe her. One event person in charge said, "I saw her sing with all her heart. Even if she had to stop just a moment to catch her breath. Her performances didn't just make her better skills and made her feel better about herself, and got her ready for bigger stages." She joined a local musical theater group. She went to classes where she learned how to say showing how you feel through singing and acting, having to balance it all with a schedule for medical. In 2015, a big chance came up when Angelica had been asked to sing America the at age 8. She was beautiful at the US Open. In front of tens of thousands of people and national TV cameras. She was done with style and feeling that Angelica's voice stunned the crowd. Strong and beautiful sounds came from the stadium, touching people all over the country. She remembered, her eyes were shining as when she talked about that time, "I felt like the whole world was hearing the A lot of people saw the performance and show on a national stage for the first time." Letting America's Got Talent come in behind the scenes, though, were many hours of constant practice as she fought through being tired and physical limits to make every note sound perfect. These first steps were not just the building blocks for future success, they were proof of how amazing Angelica was. Willpower. Illness had taken her away as a child, but she wouldn't let it happen. Her dream, from songs played in the hospital to nearby stages, and the bright moment at Angelica got ready for the US Open to deal with the biggest problem of all, on the AGT stage. Every note she sang was she said that she wasn't just a survivor, but ready to fight to tell her very sad and hopeful story through music, from a girl who is 4 years old and once Angelica Hale has been very close to dying. Written an amazing journey, not only a story of survival but also to the strength of love and determination and love. The long months of fighting poor health didn't break her. It made her who she was. Fuel to live. Longer and stronger resolve, and when the chance came up to take the stage on America's Got Talent, she told her that Angelica did more than just sing. Life story in every lyric and melody, bringing everyone in with her heart. What really makes Angelica unique is more than just her voice, it's how she picks to live when the spotlight goes away, becoming part of the National Kidney Foundation ambassador and actively working to making people aware of organ donation and healthcare. The girl who used to be she was given a second chance at life on her own. The mother now gives that hope to those who are still hoping for a miracle. Gabriella is more than just a young artist. She's a sign of kindness and a shining example of how strength comes from hurt. The story of Angelica Hale is a strong one. To remember that no hardship is worse than of people when you have a dream that shines brightly, when you believe you feel good about yourself and the love any dream, no matter how far away, is close to you, can come true. Let her story spark yours, you to get up after every fall and dream big and to keep going if